Hi guys, good morning to everyone. I am Dr. T. Radhashri, Assistant Professor in Department of Commerce in Dr. SNS Rajashmi College of Arts and Science. Today we are going to see about functional accounting for first BCom students. In fifth unit, single entry system. The topic is on single entry system. Let me see what is the single entry system. Single entry system, it is always known as an incomplete record. We already mentioned in before the plus 2 study system is an incomplete record is known as the single entry system. In the olden days, we have exchange in the money because of the purpose of product which we needed to calculate. For that purpose, we are exchanging the goods for in a money calculations. Before that, we want to know about the here in a small business we can able to identify what the amount is going into and what the amount is going out of the business. In that way, the business is likely in growing the basis of the development. In the points, there should be an the business was calculated in a particular note what the amount is coming inside of the business, what the expenses taking for the business, and what the losses of we are facing in that business. In the single entry system, purely single entry system which can be taken place by the simple entry systems is the questions of the single entry systems. Before we can be able to, the single entry system is be calculated for the personal accounts. In the personal accounts, cash book has been added for the year account of book subsidiary books. The way of the year single entry system, it should be calculated. In the way of such categories have been take place by the single entry system. It is the going process of good basis. The amount can be easily calculated for the business. In the purpose only the single entry system it had been introduced for their purpose. That way we have seen about the what is the single entry system in accounts. What is the single entry system is doing in an accounts? Let me see that. Single entry system is known as an incomplete record. We can be taken place by the starting of the business. It should be completed for the only one entry take place by the transactions in one side of the account book affected at the time in the various of the single entry systems in the pure single entry system, quasi single entry system. It is take place by the adopting of the accounts in a single entry systems. It can be calculated by the way of closing stocks, opening stocks, the income of the business which can be calculated of the business. It can be taken as additional capital should be introduced for the business. Is this all the calculation of the single entry systems? We want to first do the drawings. What is the drawings? Drawing is nothing about when the amount was putting into the business. That business want to take the amount for the business person only. We can say about the owner and the business is on the same or different. If the same or different is can be calculated by the year account what the amount we should be post into the year business. That account of the amount should be expense for the particular business. If I am the owner of the business, I am putting a some amount for the business. It should be taken as a capital of the business. In that capital I should not take as a personal use. If for purpose I am taking a amount for the purpose use that I can be purchase some mobile or jewelry some purchase, it should be considered as a drawing. In that purpose only the single entry system is calculated of the year closing stocks and opening stocks and drawings and additional capital should be introduced in their single entry systems. That way only it can be take it as an incomplete system. The single entry system is also known as a incomplete account should be maintained as a single entry systems. That way which is not be based on the double entry system, it is known as a single entry system of accounts. In such a maintaining of a single account and the cash books, the expenses and incomes are reflected in the cash books where it can be personalized of the reflected in the positive better both have been taken for the debtors and creditors. The usual cash books of the accounts. The single entry system is easily way of calculating. It is used for a small business. you are using the small business, the single entry system is very useful for recording all the goods in a proper way. This is known as the single entry system. Thank you for listening in the single entry system in this chapters.